Hey everybody, it's Holy Joe Rock and Roll. I'm still alive and went on a massive trip in an RV with some of my children to Palermo from Krakow. And as you can see from the overview, we went from Poland to through the Czech Republic, through Austria into Italy. We went all the way down to the heel of Italy and then through Calabria and then took the ferry at Messina to Palermo. And I want to show you some of the highlights of the trip. And on the way back, we took a slightly different trip, heading towards Naples and a town called Arpino. So we'll show you that a little bit later. First off, I want to tell you we rented a camper from micrent.eu, and I recommend you check them out if you need to rent a camper, especially in the off season when they have discounted rates. But really good service, really good quality. None of their campers are more than either 2 or 3 years old, so they're relatively new campers. This was really comfortable. It had seating for four and sleeping for three, but we made it work with four people, essentially two adults and two children. Whatever. Myself, 18-year-old, 15-year-old, 11-year-old, and we were able to fit. Okay, quick note. In Poland, there's no vignettes to buy. You got to pay tolls if you're on the autostrada, occasionally, and not everywhere, but a few places. In Czech Republic, you need a vignette. We got the e-vignette, which is electronic vignette. I think it cost 40 Polish zlotys, which is about $10 for, I believe it was 10 days. So make sure you buy the vignettes wherever you are. In Austria, you need another vignette. It's about 10 euros for 10 days. And Italy, there's no vignettes to buy, but if you're on the highways, the autostradas, you got to pay tolls wherever you go. So keep that in mind. Always buy the vignette. You don't want to be caught without a vignette because there's a huge fine. Hey, it goes without saying, when you got a camper, you've got a kitchen and a stove. This is one of the first meals we made. It was basically chili with rice. So we had a can of chili, but we added our own extra beans and we cooked rice separately. And it's an amazing meal when you're out in the open and you cook fresh food on the road. All right, I don't mean to skip over the Czech Republic. We just drove through it, blasted through the Czech Republic to get to Austria, and here's some info on the Austrian highway. This is a rest stop on the Autostrada in Austria. It's made by the Ausfingnang, this particular rest stop. Anyway, this is what they have. They have some vending machines over there, bathrooms, showers, and they have water it's drinkable, but you have to just bring a bucket or something, container, and of course parking. I'll show you what they got inside. Apparently free Wi-Fi. Where's the showers? These are the showers. It's usually just €1. You need a coin. It doesn't say how long. Usually the water runs for between 10 and 15 minutes. And it's kind of like a shower at a swimming pool. Bathroom, men's room. Here's the concession area where they have vending machines. Coffee was terrible. I had a milk coffee. It's like fake milk. I didn't like it. It was like €2.70. Pretty expensive, not very good. Anyway, better than nothing. Some of them are cleaner than others. This is what when you get the vignette, which is the ticket you need to drive on the highway. This is partly what it pays for, this stuff, right? Of course, they have picnic tables, so if you bring your own food or you want to do a quick grill, you can grill. There's a guy getting water. Of course, a lot of trucks are here parked, whatever, doing their thing. This is what the vignette looks like. It's a decal that you buy. You put it in your windshield, usually the driver's side left, or you can put it in the middle. You can also get an electronic vignette, which is tied to your license plate number. Definitely get one because they're checking electronically, and if you don't have one, they will send you a ticket. All right, I know what you're thinking, Joe. This video is already almost 5 minutes long. Where's Italy? Okay, we're in Italy now. We blasted through Austria. We got to Italy. We got past Bari. Took about maybe 15 hours to get to Bari. We passed it up and we got to Brindisi, south of Bari. We went to the beach there. Anywhere you see Lidl, Lidl means beach. You can pull over and usually go into the water for free. So after the swim in Brindisi, we went to the city of Lecce and had breakfast there. Then we drove all the way down to the heel of Italy, Santa Maria di Lucia. Beautiful place. Right off the water, there's a hotel slash restaurant. We got pasta with shrimps. We got pasta with jumbo shrimps. We got pasta with some spicy sauce, and we got bolognese. And then we also got a seconde, which was a steak and a butter lemon sauce. Santa Maria de Lucia is far away. It's hard to get to, but it's a beautiful place. I recommend it if you have time, visit it. This was a place, a mansion that's for rent. If you can zoom in on the sign there, if you want to call it. There's places to rent, but it's a nice place, beautiful place, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of tourists there. All right, after the heel of Italy, we drove across southern part of Italy into Calabria. We finally we were starving. It was 10 o'clock. The only place we saw that we could open was open. This restaurant, we got clams, right? We got squid. We got squid with pasta, black ink squid. We got mussels. This was like a fruta di mare, fruit of the sea dish with pasta. And also, I got a swordfish. Honestly, this was the only place where the food, everything was okay. It just wasn't pungent. And I think maybe it was just kind of late. It was like 10 o'clock. Only people were there were like blue collar workers having a beer, but they were super friendly. They took a picture of us. They were like so excited that we were visiting. And it was kind of in the middle of nowhere on that road between uh, Santa Maria de Lucia and Calabria. We weren't quite into the Regio di Calabria, the city, the downtown area. We were on the way, but we were in the province of Calabria. All right, so we made it to Calabria, and pro tip, you have to buy your ticket for the ferry before you follow the signs to the ferry. It's kind of a weird signage. I missed it the first time because last time I crossed was in 2000, and you could buy the tickets right where you get on the ferry. Now you cannot, you have to buy the tickets first. So be sure to buy your tickets first. Here we are on the ferry, it's a panoramic view. And looking back in the distance, we could see that parts of Calabria were on fire, wildfire, I guess summer fire, and that shit happens. So be careful when you're out there. But great trip. The ferry is amazing. For us with the camper, I think it was 59 euros one way. I should have bought the round trip ticket. It would have been like 72 euros, I think, round trip. You save about whatever, 50% on the round trip. But the food on the ferry, it's only about a 30-minute ride. They had cannolis and they were amazing, even though they weren't made right in front of you. They were already pre-made, but they were crunchy and delicious and sweet. And in fact, everywhere in Sicily and in the south, none of the cannolis were made on the spot. They were all pre-made and they were all crunchy. They were all delicious. Okay, after you take the ferry to Messina, take the highway. If you're going to Palermo, you're going to head north. And as you can see here, the first coastal beach area off that highway is Villa Francia Terrena. That's where we stopped and went to the beach there. And it's a kind of a rocky beach, but the water was warm. It was amazing. All right, after leaving that beach community, we got back on the highway towards Palermo and stopped at a rest stop. This is what it looked like. We just parked. I was exhausted. Just parked it and took a nap for like an hour, hour and a half, and just chilled for a little while. And that's what you got to do. But the great thing about having a camper is you don't need a hotel. You just pull over and park, and you good to go. All right, so the center of Palermo, there's this green car parking, green car parcheggio, 25 euros a day. We had the air conditioner on, plugged into the electricity, so he charged us €5 more because we were running the air conditioner. But €25 per day was the normal price. That included electricity as long as you weren't running the air conditioner. Anyhow, for €30 a night, it came with showers, bathrooms, and it was in a centrally located part of Palermo. Not that we needed to be in the center of the city, but it's a good location, and I recommend them if you have a camper and you want to park somewhere and have those facilities available to you. All right, from downtown, we took an Uber to Tommaso Natale. This is town, part of Palermo, which is where my one of my great grandfathers was born. I mean, look, honestly, everything looks the same, and we didn't know what we were doing, so we took the train back. And the train service is awesome. It was €4 each, €4 each to go from the far end, which was, like I said, Tommaso Natali, to back to the center. And I think I paid €53 for the taxi for all four of us. All right, I think the first Sunday of every month, most of the museums are free. So there was a La Cuba museum, and it's some kind of I'm not sure if it was the Muslims that built it or the Crusaders who built it, but it's in ruins and it's a castle, and we were able to go visit it. And it was cool. It was just cool. There's nothing really to see, just a, skeleton of a building, but it was cool to be able to just go visit it for free. Also, I want to say that from that central location, there's two amazing places. Now, I'm sorry I didn't take pictures, but so I might be using some pictures from the internet, but Bar Russo, it's really close to the center where we parked. We could walk there in like 5 minutes. It's bar in Italian means cafe, so it's not a bar like a drinking bar. Coffee, I mean, maybe you can get alcohol, but that's not the point. The point is it's food. So the arancini they had there, delicious. We had lasagna there. We had both types of arancini, both the one with ragu and the one with melted cheese and prosciutto. Really just good wholesome food, like homemade food. Also, we had the cannolis there again, pre-made in the fridge, but delicious, crunchy, crispy, sweet, perfect. The one thing that I don't have any pictures of is granita, which is like shaved ice flavored with. We tried all the flavors. They had lemon, they had almond, they had strawberry, they had one other flavor. I can't remember what it was, but anyhow, I think the lemon is the classic, and it's just very refreshing on these hot days in Italy. Okay, the second place I can recommend is Bella Sicilia, which is a pizzeria, and other things. I guess I got roasted chicken, maybe. I can't remember what. We just had pizza there. It's very close. It's in the center. You can see here the picture of where they're located. They open for dinner after 7 p.m., so remember that. You got to come after 7. And we ordered pizzas there. Four different types of pizza, and again, the prices are very reasonable. I think the cheapest one we got was maybe €5. There was a four cheese pizza, maybe like €7. Uh, yeah, what do you call it? Whatever we ordered was delicious. This one was whatever the hell it is. I can't remember the damn name, what they called it. Capricosa, but it had like hot dogs on it, and then this was maybe a Roman one, or I forget what maybe a Sicilian one. I forget what they call it. Basically, just a little bit better than a margarita. I have to tell you, to my surprise, Palermo was one of the cheapest locations for food on the whole trip. Maybe there was a couple of one or two exceptions, but very reasonable prices, everything fresh, everything good. So don't be afraid to visit Palermo, even the center of the city. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you could find very expensive restaurants, but those two places that I mentioned, Bar Russo and Bella Sicilia, very reasonably priced. And even if they don't speak English, they did at Bella Sicilia. They'll you'll be able to make yourself understood. You point to what you need if you have to, and everything's good. All right, now the return trip, we went a different route. Initially, there's a ferry that goes from Palermo to Sorrento or close to Sorrento. Uh, we thought we would take the ferry back that way from Palermo, but you need your passports. We didn't have our passports with us, so I decided let's not risk it. because you got to buy your tickets in advance and you need to put your passport numbers. So we drove all the way back. This time we headed towards, well, we went to Sorrento. So from Palermo, we took the ferry back across, went to Sorrento for dinner. And what a beautiful city. Okay, the last time I was in Sorrento was in the year 2000, and you could drive into the downtown Main Street area. Nowadays, you cannot. It's pedestrians only. So I'm in an RV. I can't find a place to park. I'm getting closer and closer to the center. I see signs that say dead end, no entry. I said, man, let's just get as close as we can. I haven't been here in 20 years. Just as we went into the 100% pedestrian only. There's a cop on a motorcycle. He rolls up. I just rolled down the window and said, "Can I turn around here?" And he's like, "Yes, turn around right here." So of course I turned the RV around, and then I'm like, and all I could see, it was nighttime. We were starving because we had basically driven all the way. Did we make it in one trip? I think we started in the morning in Palermo, and we made it all the way to Sorrento, and it was nighttime. Probably a good 12-hour trip by car. And anyways, I'm looking for a place to park. But okay, so what I can tell you is that the old town of Sorrento, it's all pedestrian only. It was all lit up. So I had maybe like 5 seconds to look and like be like, wow, it was all lit up. It's passing, walking only. Turn the RV around and then look for a place to park. So we found a place to park, and then we thought maybe, do we want to walk back to the center? So, but it was, so we're probably like 2 kilometers away from the center where the pedestrian only. So as we're walking, we see a sign for this place called Moonlight Pizzeria. So I said, look, man, let's just go there. So we probably were maybe a kilometer away, maybe 900 meters away, but we were just so hungry. So let's just check it out. If it's good, we'll eat there. If it's not, then we'll keep going. But we went in there and it was excellent. So these are the four dishes that we got. We got a pizza, maybe capricciosa, but it had eggplant, I think, and sausage. I'm not sure what they called it. Lasagna we got. It was good. I mean, nothing. Look, good looking restaurant, good service. They spoke English, very attentive. Another pizza. I forgot what this was called, but again, excellent food, excellent service. What else? And then some kind of spaghetti with tuna. Yeah, something like that. Tuna spaghetti alla tuna, maybe something like that. Uh, Pretty much, any of these meals, you figure about 15 euros per dish, per like main dish. Pizzas could be cheaper. And so I decided to treat the boys with some desserts. So we got three kinds. We got some panna cotta, we got some lemon something, and we got some, I want to say it was tiramisu. And total bill for everything, including water, and I think I might have had one glass of wine, was like 88 euros. Actually, this is the exact location of where we parked, right in front of that parking meter. We parked there. That's where I found us place to park, and we walked from there to the restaurant. The Moonlight restaurant. Okay, and then we walked back to this location, and I thought, let's just sleep here for the night. But it was so goddamn noisy with these mopeds and motorcycles driving by all night long. It was already probably around midnight, and I said, screw it. And it was, look, by the way, this is August, so it's hot as F. So I said, look, let's get out of here. Let's get back on the highway towards Naples, and let's try to find a place to sleep on, in Naples. So actually, just real quick, we actually got to, I mean, I guess technically we were in the city of Naples. I thought maybe we'd find a place to sleep, but unfortunately, I don't know. Naples was the only place that we saw wild ass foreigners from Africa running around, and it didn't look safe. And obviously, I don't know the city that well, so we just kept going. I said, after a few minutes of, I just said, look, screw it, man. So we wasted time going into Naples, paying the toll to get into Naples, and then paying the toll to get out of Naples and get back on the autostrada, and then just stop at a rest stop. So listen, my recommendation for the whole trip is that these rest stops, there's people there working there 24/7. They're gas stations, sometimes with restaurants. But anyhow, you probably won't be the only camper park there for the night. There's obviously, if there's trucks there, then there's a truck stop. There's truckers that are parked there. So it's not that there's a lot of activity. There's not, but at least it's relatively safe, and you're away from the city. And in, some random African illegal immigrant is probably not going to be able to get there because it's on a highway. So you're pretty safe. Anyway, that's where we stayed. Okay, let's talk about showers. Every rest stop that we went to had a shower, with the exception of once you get into southern Italy and Sicily, the the rest stops did not have showers that you could use. There was one rest stop in Sicily that close to Palermo, but outside of Palermo, that had a shower, but they said it was only for truckers. It's kind of bullshit. They wouldn't even let me pay to use the shower. Some places, especially the bigger rest stops, it's all free. I'm trying to think if we had to pay on this trip. Worst case scenario, it's maybe 1 or 2 euros to take a shower, but it's worth it. Anyway, no place to shower, so I said, look, let's find a place to swim. After trying to find a place to swim around Naples, where we got off. We stayed on the highway in a rest stop. We decided to just move on to Arpino. I have a cousin who lives in Arpino, so we headed to Arpino. And at the base of Arpino is a mountain, top of the mountain type village, beautiful ancient village. And right at the base of that village, there's a swimming pool. So we, after giving up and knowing that there's a swimming pool there, we just headed right for Arpino. All right, so after the swim, drove up into Arpino proper. And at first I thought the roads would be too small because my cousin had told me that they're really narrow. But there's a few areas where you can park, and we found parking on the street. But anyway, we parked, and then you can see some of the little alleyways in this ancient town. There's actually an old ancient Roman road that they'd uncovered, and it's there on display, fenced off, but you can see it. Really nice. Look at that. Look at that. That's detail. Beautiful scenery, the skyline, and it's clean air up there. You can kind of feel the air clean. What else? A lot of ancient architecture. It's a cool city. So anyway, in order to get to Arpino, of course, you have to deviate from the north-south route, which would be on the autostrada that goes from Naples to Rome. So yeah, so we had to get off there. We spent a couple hours there, like an hour with our cousin, and then we headed back to the highway. And initially, we were going to go to Genoa. But as we started getting on the highway, I said, guys, look, we only have like 3 more days of the rental. Do we really want to go there? Because then it puts us like I don't know, whatever. We said, let's scrap Genoa. Let's go to Forenza. Let's start heading east, go to Florence, which is Forenza, pass through Forenza, and then basically head back home. So after leaving Arpino, we got on the highway and headed to Forenza. All right, you got to be careful. On the highway towards Forenza, there's a sign that says Forenza, but it's actually not the exit to Forenza. It's actually where you could park your car and take a train to Forenza. So I took that exit and I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, paid the toll and got back on, started again. So anyways, we get to Forenza, or at least to the suburbs of it, or we got off the highway to get into the city. We saw a place called Cafe Forenza. We stopped, parked the car, and as luck would have it, right across from where we parked, probably 100 meters from the cafe, was a laundromat. So we did laundry while we ate lunch there. So this place was maybe the exception. I mean, it was lunchtime, but the meals were like from 7 euros to 9 euros. So I don't have any pictures of the food, unfortunately. I think one of my sons might have taken pictures of the food, but he didn't share them with me. So I don't have pictures of the food, but it was excellent, man. It was really good. Lunch service, we had to eat outside. They apologized because they had no room inside, but we didn't care. We were just hungry. And the truth is, look, this whole trip, July, August is some of the hottest months in especially southern Italy. I lost weight. People will say they gain weight. Look, it was so goddamn hot. All you want to do is drink water, bubbly water, or iced tea. They have the tea from these Italian companies, which is excellent. It is sweet tea, but you could water it down with bubbly water. Anyways, you mainly want to drink because you're so thirsty because you're so hot. And anyway, we didn't eat that much. Quite honestly. The plan was to maybe have something light for breakfast, like a cornetto, which is a croissant for you non-Italian speakers. So we would usually get one of those and actually split it. I would eat a half a croissant and have un caffè, which is an espresso. And then lunchtime, we sometimes would skip lunch, or we'd make sandwiches, or we have the kitchen in the camper, so we would have our own food that we would maybe eat. And then for dinner, we would go out to have dinner. But sometimes we'd flip it and pay for lunch at a restaurant, and then make our own dinner at nighttime. All right, after blasting through Florence, we got back on the highway and we headed towards Bologna. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best restaurant in Italy. It's close to Bologna. It's in a place called Budrio, but don't go to Budrio. It's Budrio Cotignolia. Cotignolia is I don't know, Deep Cotignolia. That's it. Budrio di Cotignolia. If you go to Budrio directly, you're 45 minutes away. It's another town with the same name, but this is in this area, Cotignolia. I mean, dude, this is excellent food. Opens at 7 o'clock. This I got for my son, a little pizza with some meat on it. Then we got spaghetti with clams, vongoli, some delicious food. What was this? The next one coming up. This is pasta with shrimp and zucchini. Just every dish that we've had there is just amazing, just so good, so well seasoned. This was a pasta with salmon, and it's so buttery, like butter and olive oil, so amazing. And then for dessert, we got this chocolate. I don't know what it is, like a truffle, not a truffle, some kind of a cupcake, basically deep chocolate one. Then we also got a panicata, whatever it was. I got a half liter of wine because I knew we were going to probably sleep in the parking lot. Did we sleep in the parking lot? I think we might have slept in the parking lot there. But in the summertime, they have outdoor seating. In the wintertime, you be inside, or in the spring or whatever. Anyways, we're sitting outside, al fresco, just amazing. You get a reservation, guys. Get a reservation. Don't just show up because they may be busy. So don't be disappointed. Try to get a reservation. Call. I gave you the card. This is one of the best damn restaurants in the world, and definitely in Italy. All my trips throughout Italy, this is one of the best, and my favorite right now. All right, after dinner at that great restaurant, I think we slept in the parking lot there. Maybe we didn't. I took off and started anyway, doesn't matter. We left Budrio and we headed back uh, to Krakow, and basically just drove straight the next day. It was, I think, the next day. Made it to Krakow the next day. Yo, we're in Austria. Hundreds of windmills, no power. What do you do when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine? Hundreds of these near outside of Vienna. None of them are moving. What a waste. What a complete waste.